All right, Steve, our web-slinging friend is back in Marvels Avengers.
Looks like I got some friends too. Avengers, assemble. Bad guy, scatter.
Couldn't have put it better myself, buddy.
Well, Steve, Crystal Dynamics is rostering up again with the latest hero, Spider-Man. And a lot of us went to Spider-Man on the PlayStation because he's exclusive over there. Sorry for Xbox, but I gotta be honest, Xbox ain't missing anything. Spider-Man is one of the worst characters I have in my roster lineup for Marvel's Avengers. They, being Crystal Dynamics, to me, didn't really put their heart and soul into Spider-Man like they did with War of Wakanda DLC. Spider-Man, to me, for PlayStation, is an absolute joke now. That did not go over well. When you play, how do you not compare it to Insomniac games, right? When we have such this beloved fandom over there for Spider-Man, and it was such a pivotal character, and what a great game from Insomniac, that you have high hopes going into Marvel's Avengers because you have a huge roster to pull from, and they pull from one of the biggest, being Spider-Man, and it was an absolute flop. For me, Steve, yeah. Spider-Man is cumbersome. I don't think his moveset is all that great. There is a ceiling cap with Spider-Man, but there is also with Iron Man as well. So I knew going in that Spider-Man wasn't going to be able to go very high compared to other games in the past. But for me, dude, Spider-Man, they just didn't care. This is an absolute embarrassment. How do you feel about Spider-Man?
Well, first off, like what we just said, is for being a massive iconic character, Spider-Man, and to me even bigger than Hawkeye and Kate Bishop.
Yeah,
they didn't roll the red carpet out at all. It was the first hour was probably the best part for me, and then it just went completely downhill because after actually finding out how to start the mission of actually finding the cobweb, so after finding the cobweb, the cutscene, then go to the harm room, learn his maneuvers and his abilities, and then I was lost. You get the green icon, Spider-Man, you go to the war table, nothing's highlighted with the green mark point of where you're supposed to go, and then as only found out later is that you just replay missions over and over again, and that was it.
But for why? We're already playing these missions over and over as it is. So then to get in a new character with no story, Kate Bishop, story, right? Hawkeye, story. War of Wakanda, a whole new world. Spider-Man, one of the biggest IPs in Marvel, nothing. Well, you get audio dialogue. Really? Audio dialogue? What a joke. This is such a piece of crap of a DLC for a character. They shouldn't even put him in here. It's an absolute embarrassment, not only to Marvel, Spider-Man fans, and PlayStation fans. I get Xbox isn't getting this, right? I understand that. And Crystal Dynamics came right out and said that they wanted to focus on the raid where everybody gets to enjoy it, where only a portion of people get to play Spider-Man. That portion of people are millions and millions of people. So for you not to even care, essentially, is how I feel. It's just disheartening, Steve, because it is such a loved character. It's such a movie IP, and it was just the lack of detail, the lack of enthusiasm put in from Crystal Dynamics to Spider-Man is horrendous.
See, I didn't sort of compare it to the Insomniac Spider-Man, so I knew this would just be a playable character like the rest of them. And I didn't mind the actual mechanics of Spider-Man with the spider sense. You get the 3 new abilities of the Wrecking Ball, the web bomb, and also the drone, which I found quite enjoyable and fun at first. But they actually changed the level up system. Is instead of leveling up each item now, you actually have to do the grind to find that item before it'll level you up. And I found that so repetitive because, as we mentioned, on the war table, there's a lot of missions you can't do because starting off as Spider-Man at a low level, there's a lot of ones at higher levels. So I just found keep playing the same 2 missions over and over again, which, bearing in mind, I did grind for about 18 hours to get level from 130 to 150 to play War of Wakanda, and then to now do this, and there's not a lot rewards for leveling up Spider-Man or completing the challenge cards either.
Oh, dude. Okay, let's get into this challenge card because this is a joke. The challenge card was absolutely pathetic because within it, you get XP, you get currency, you get new costumes. All right, so everybody, you go to everybody's challenge cards. Some of them are really cool, and they have different outfits they can put on. Spider-Man has 3 that are exactly the same, but with a different mask and a different color. Like, Crystal Dynamics did not give a crap whatsoever about Spider-Man, and it is so disappointing. I am done. Spider-Man is the worst character in this entire game. Well, Steve, this is not the Spider-Man we were all hoping for. What do you score in the latest hero for Marvel's Avengers?
Well, to be honest with you, this is really just scoring on the mechanics for me as playing Spider-Man, because I'm giving this a 5.5 because with no content and just a constant grind and replaying missions, like I said, after the hour, I was bored doing the same thing again. So, 5.5 for me.
I get it. I'm even lower than that. I am such a big Spider-Man fan, and coming into this to get what we have in Marvel's Avengers was an absolute disappointment. For me, Spider-Man is only getting a 3.
We both had mixed reviews on the mechanics of Spider-Man, but one thing Drew and myself agreed on, that replaying the same mission over and over again, with no story mode or any decent gear on the challenge card to grind for, makes Marvel's Avengers Spider-Man very disappointing.